Hey guys, welcome back to the Poor Investor. Today, we're going to be talking about Wireshark and how it works on a Chia host or a wallet. For the last few weeks, I've been pretty busy. I've been in training and going through this whole Mandiant course. And if you don't know what Mandiant is, they recently been acquired by Google. And I'll bring up a website later, just give you guys an idea who they are, what they do. And another thing is, while I was doing all that, I also completed my Google cybersecurity blah blah blah, right? Because it was free. 7 days. It was pretty intense. I mean, you need to spend a good amount of hours each day, right? So they kind of give you a progression report and how much hours and time you can actually spend on it. And they kind of estimate how long you'll take to complete it. Well, I exceeded the 7 days and I went over a little bit, but because you went over the 7 days, you actually have to pay the $45 for the month. I completed it because it went over the 7 days already. I didn't feel like I had to rush it anymore, even though I was spending like close to 8 hours on it throughout each day, trying to complete it as fast as I can within the 7, so I wouldn't have to pay the $45. But unfortunately, I did go over. I ended up completing it on either my 10th or 11th day, only because I already paid. You have to pay the 45 as soon as you exceed the 7. But I've since canceled it now. But I have obtained my Google cybersecurity certificate or certification. It's not. I mean, it was pretty intense. I think if you guys are interested in that kind of stuff, the whole cybersecurity, and that's what I do for a living. It's interesting. It's good to learn. It's very high level, but even with the high level, you're still touching into very specific applications. Splunk being one of them. Learning how to read and kind of code a little bit in Python. A lot of the things that I've already experienced, only because I've took my own initiatives to actually get into it. So, all right, I'm not going to go into much to that detail, that aspect of it, but let's go over to what I'm trying to accomplish today. So this is Mandiant. So you can see here now it says now part of Google Cloud. So Mandiant is like a consultant or company that manages or does incident response. You can hire them to like investigate, whether if you had an outbreak or you had some kind of compromise and you're trying to find the root cause of it. You will hire these guys, or you will hire these guys proactively, trying to stay on top of things to make sure that you're not compromised, creating a baseline pretty much to see where your network or your company stands prior to being or potentially being hacked later on or being compromised. So, a lot of aspects to it, different networking components, software, endpoints, firewalls, and all that other good stuff, right? So, here you can look at their services. I'm not promoting them, all right? I'm not being paid by these individuals, but because through work, I had this free course, I ended up, having to sit there for many, many hours so far, on top of the Google thing that I did on my own initiative, okay? So, of course, just tracking down bad actors. But anyway, let's go over to the price of Chia really quick. $34.35. It was going pretty low. I was kind of shocked that it actually went back up. There are some real like good, not good news, but more updated news in regards to Chia as far as the application wise. Because I actually updated myself, and I see some new enhancements. Nothing to go too crazy about, but if you're new to Chia, then yeah, it's a little overwhelming because there's a lot more icons than what it used to be. All right, now you got all these different things you can actually do in it. It'll actually prompt you that, because I wasn't on the latest version, it prompted me like, hey, there's a new version. Do you want to update? And then you just download it within the application. One thing I did notice is that in the task manager for the Windows environment, the amount of services that are still running Chia, full wallet or full node or whatever it is, it was so many. It was so many that I manually have to go in there and close each one in order for the downloaded newer version to actually install. Simplest way would probably have been to just reboot the machine and let it come back up, and then don't run Chia, but just install it first. that would probably have minus the, you know, the annoying part of going into the task manager and removing and tasking all the Chia components. So, all right, let me just go over really quick what we're trying to do today. So I have right now my Wireshark, right? And right now it's basically creating a baseline because I don't have Chia, the wallet, running currently. And we're just going to go a high level looking at, what this looks like and what is all this activity. Well, this current activity right now is on my machine, right? And the reason why it's probably running all these nonsense, and we can actually, these keep alives and these different random ports and these destination IP addresses, because one, the host that I'm on, this is on a wireless network, is communicating with other devices that are on the network within here, right? Internally, not outside into the internet. But mind you, there are other components in this Wireshark that is seeing, because from this host, it's going to be reaching out to the internet. And that's why you see all these other IP addresses that are external facing. Now, I'm not going to go into the details of what's internal, what's external, as far as how to read IP addresses and all the details of this, right? And what it's trying to do. It looks suspicious, right? It does look suspicious. And I guess that's one of the hard parts of trying to be a security analyst, is constantly monitoring all this to make sure that everything that's going in and out is legitimate. And that's one of the gripes of being a security analyst slash engineer. And the other thing is, why do we need this? Well, this can actually pinpoint certain malicious activities. I'm not saying that, Chia is one. I'm just saying, like, just creating a baseline prior to running the application itself can possibly bring light to different things later on if there is activities that look out of the ordinary. And that's why we would do this, right? And, I'm not saying I'm very proficient in it. I'm still learning as we go. But this is something that I've been picking up throughout the course of time. I've used Wireshark in the past, but now recently I was like, you know what? Let me just focus more of my attention on Wireshark and get a little insight into more on my own personal network, because all this time I've been doing it for work, right? I've been doing it for home labs, but I never once did I say, let me check everything that I'm running currently. And I'm saying current meaning within the last few months, not the last few years, because everything has changed since then, right? Now, everything's on the cloud. If I open up my, my little right corner where I see these current, services running, NVIDIA got, I'm going to just read it out because I can't even bring it over to this screen. NVIDIA is running, my Stream Deck is running, my voice mod, that's part of the Stream Deck, OBS, my Foresight, which is the amplifier, Foresight, which is the amplifier for the mic that's actually hooked up to it. They're all reaching out to the internet trying to look for, hey, there's a new update. Please update or, get compromised, whatever it is. So anyway, this is Wireshark. All right. And right now, I just recently downloaded the new version of the Chia wallet / application. It has not fully synced because I didn't allow it to. I installed it. I ran it for a little bit. It was still trying to sync. I'm going to bring down the Chia wallet once it opens up. All right. So here it is. And you guys are going to see like a whole bunch of crap. And you know what? I honestly, you could see now, like I was saying, like it's syncing right now. Right. So now we're going to be looking at this screen, this portion of it right here. Let me just minimize this a little more. All right. So it's syncing. I believe I'm trying to figure out what port the wallet is trying to sync over. Now I know for farming it's 84444, 84444. Yeah, 3 4s, right? But as far as the wallet connection, you can see all these reds are starting to pop up now because the Chia wallet is actually syncing, like constant. I will stop this eventually and we'll look. Wow, look at that. Now I don't know what all this is yet. I'm just I created the baseline, right? We saw nothing really out of the ordinary, which, you know, when you create a baseline, you still have everything pre-existing prior to the time you opened the application, right? So you have the timestamps of when that actually happened, so you actually know, which wasn't too long ago. I'm not gonna go crazy into this, but I just really wanted to see, because I've never done it. I never ran Wireshark to see what the Chia application is actually trying to do. And I know this is like, the poor investor. What the hell are you talking about now? Why is this even significant to Chia? It's significant to any application, whether it's Chia or you're mining other coins, because these applications are doing things that you may not know, and Chia being one of them. Can you fully say that you put all your trust into Chia's application, meaning that it would one day will never be compromised? I highly doubt that, because if you do, then you probably have something wrong with you. And I'm not saying that negatively, but just because Microsoft is like one of the biggest operating system, you would feel safe with them. That's basically what I'm trying to say. Chia is no different than any other application, especially claiming to be an application software company. All right. So let's just, I'm going to click through, and it looks like it's still syncing, right? It is still syncing, because this is not green yet. Usually if it's synced, it will be all green. Here are a list of my NFTs that people have donated. Of course, it has not finished yet. I think it's still syncing. So that's that. Yeah, I think that's all I have. I don't know what the hell these are. But anyway, I really appreciate the one Chia friend that was passed on to me back in the day. I don't know if that... I never even looked it up if it was even worth anything. Verifiable credentials. And these are all part of the new version of the Chia software, and this is again 1.82. Now, unfortunately, a lot of people are pretty upset that this whole GPU farming thing has not happened yet, and I'm not sure what's the holdup, unless they, you know, detected more issues with it where they have to resolve, and that's why they're not releasing it. Prematurely releasing it would just frustrate a lot more people, and that's probably why they wouldn't have done that, and that's probably why you don't see it now. All right. Okay, so we're gonna let this run in the background so we can kind of look at the Wireshark. And the reason why I'm not stopping the current Wireshark right now is because this is still syncing, and whatever it's trying to do, it's still syncing. So let me just minimize that, and we're just gonna review and look over some of the things that... Oh, so here it is, the A444. You saw that? All right, I'm just gonna... Should I stop it? No, I don't want to stop it yet, because it's still syncing. I just want to see how it ends when it completes. So A444 is reaching out to 57338. If I keep it scrolled up, you can actually see, and it won't do anything. Sequence number acknowledged. Win. I'm not sure what this win. I have to look that up. TCP segment resemble PDU. So my host right here, 121, because I have a... Let me just show you guys. Where is my command prompt? Oh, there it goes. All right. My host currently that's running this Wireshark is 192.168.1.121. So that's me. So it's reaching out to this 85.222.187.188, which you can actually, if you really want, and you should, most times... Let me just do this really quick. All right. What you can do is do like an IP who is, right? I'm just going to type it here. Lookup. We could do a lookup IP, and I'll type it here. Let's see, which one was it? 81, right? 81.222.187.188. Let's just see who that is. website. Who's this? So remember, you obviously it's not coming from Chia, not all of it. Well, maybe not none of it actually. So because the point is, these are different hosts. These are nodes, right? I could be pushing out my segment or my contribution to the network on Chia and pushing that out on from my IP address, my external IP address, meaning exiting out of my network on the internet. I'm contributing to that blockchain, and that's pretty much what this segment is showing. And of course, it's going to be a whole bunch of different random IPs as you keep on going on, because different nodes, when they're online or offline, are going to be represented here, and it's going to communicate back to your host on that 8444 to finally sync your wallet. Now, this wallet has not been synced on this host, has not been synced since version 1.5. So that it's been a while, and it's going to take some time, and you're going to see these these transactions happening. But what I was more curious about is, I'm not going to stop it again. I'm just going to scroll up to see, why are we seeing these red lines? Like, what's going on? So this is an internal thing. This probably didn't have anything to, possibly nothing to do with with Chia, the wallet syncing, but it may be. I'm not sure. I have to double check on who's 110, because it could either be my harvester or my phone node. Mind you, my phone node is still running right now and is still communicating, transversing out to the internet on the blockchain to keep it in sync. So I'm not sure if this wallet that I have on this host is doing anything with that, because this is not really telling me much right now. At least not at first glance. I'm not sure why the source and it's going to the destination of the broadcast address, and not sure what it's doing over here, at least. So I would have to look into that, and that's my point, right? So you created a baseline, you didn't see any of this before, but now that you started the application, you're noticing that there's more traffic, right? There's more noise, there's more activities, and there's a lot more things going on that you're unaware of. Like, what is it, right? So how do you do this? Sorry about that. So what do? This is the whole point of investigating, right? So a security analyst, engineer, you analyze this data and you kind of try to make sense of it. Now, my point is that you can't trust everything just because it's an application that you think is from a reputable software vendor. In this case, Chia. You can't just say, all right, I'm going to install it. The new version is out. It should be super secure because it's the newest thing. Well, it doesn't always work out that way, because the newest thing can have a worse flaw than the previous, which open up like another gateway of hell, right? And to explain it really short, is the same reason why Chia is constantly releasing new versions, because they're finding faults and they're remediating that. And because it's so frequent, that's why we have so many versions of the Chia network, on top of also trying to enhance it, right? Now, when you enhance something, when you build something out from, from the previous, you're going to run into issues. Nothing's going to be perfect, but they are going to test it to some extreme. But when you test it, you can only test it so much with a handful of guys. In comparison, right? In comparison to when Chia is testing it across, let me just minimize this for a second. How many people are we actually testing it across? And that answer is going to be in our blockchain status, right? No, that's 24 EIBs. What I'm trying to say is the peer info. How many people are going to be testing this out? Currently, there's 109,000 people nodes. I shouldn't say people because some people can have multiple nodes for whatever reason. All running 1.81, majority of them right now. I'm one of the few who are running 1.82. I noticed, kind of just backtracking to 1.81, I noticed the reason why I upgraded so fast or updated so fast was because 1.81 sometimes on the Windows side, the host, it's blank white screen. I couldn't see anything. I have no idea why. And I would have to close out the application, relaunch it, then everything is fine again. Was the node run, like the full node running even while it's in the blank white screen? It seemed like it was, but I didn't want to take that chance. All right, guys. That's pretty much it. That was a, wow, 20 minutes on whole Wireshark and Chia. I will be doing more videos like this. Yeah, I'm just intrigued right now. Like I said, you know, if you stuck around this long, I've been busy. I've been in training courses, doing my own training, and I'm studying more, and I'm, you know, just advancing myself. And that's probably one of the main reasons why I haven't been really putting out as much videos as I should have. But mind you, I am still putting out videos. Case in point, right now, you see me here. All right. Thank you guys. Please remember to hit that like, comment, subscribe, and I'll see you guys again really soon. All right. Bye.